Hello everyone and welcome back to Farming Simulator 25. We are on our latest purchase, field number 7. We're just doing a little bit of weeding at the moment because Walter has put some oat in here. He's put 100% fertiliser on, but it does just need weeding. Now they are very hard to see, which is why I've got GPS on at the moment, just to make it that a little bit easier. But they are small weeds, so that's why they are quite hard to see. I've already done the headland, so I've just got the up and down bit to finish here. So last episode we put the slurry pit in, which was a very nice addition, and I have worked out how to use it. I was looking for trigger points and spawn points and this, that and the other. Basically, in the menu here, under conditions, you've got productivity, buffalo milk, straw and slurry. You can see there's 23,000 litres of slurry there, but the bar is only just filled. So basically what that slurry pit does is it increases the capacity of the bar. So essentially we can now store 500,000 litres rather than just the 50 odd thousand before. So yeah, as long as it's close enough to the barn, which it is because we placed it close enough, it wouldn't let you otherwise. That just increases your capacity to 50 odd to over 500, which is lovely. So yeah, there is no trigger points or spawn points. It is just normal where you fill up your tanker, but you're doing it for or from a much bigger capacity. So yeah, that's that sorted out, which is good. I thought I might have done something wrong, but it's perfect, so a very good suggestion. So we have got a little bit of mowing to do, unfortunately. A little bit of a boring job. I try not to do it too often, so we are going to have to do some mowing. But what that does mean is we will get to use our very own baler, the one we purchased, brand new, 0 hours, for the first time, which is lovely, and we'll be making the biggest square bales available. So we also spoke about planting a forest because we're desperately running out of trees to cut. I've sort of cut down all the trees that I wanted to cut down, but I needed somewhere to put a forest. Now I don't really want to give up any of my fields at the moment because we've only got a handful of fields, and sort of 3 of them aren't even that big anyway, and I really don't want to give up a whole field for a forest. So what I'm thinking is the row of trees by the sawmill there, the row of trees behind us there, and the odd few trees there by the latest goat pasture, they're going to come down, and then basically we're going to have a very long but fairly narrow forest. But I'm pretty sure we'll be able to put a lot of trees in there. So over the coming episodes we'll cut some trees down here and there just to make space. But yeah, obviously there's probably what, 10-15 trees in each section, something like that, maybe 20 in the bigger one there, but we'll be able to put lots more in. We'll be able to put lots of nice rows in, all the easy to process trees. So yeah, I think that is the plan, because at the moment I don't want to give up land. In the future we will probably purchase a field just to put our very own forest in, but for now we're just going to have to do the outskirts of these 3 fields here. But I think all 3 combined, it should be pretty nice. So this is the last pass here, and then the weeding in this field is done. So I also want to upgrade our small dynamic sheep pasture and the small dynamic goat pasture. Reason being, they both hold such a small capacity of water, only 1,500 litres, which obviously isn't a lot, and I'm forever filling them up with water all the time, and it's a repetitive job to show on camera all the time, and I'm having to do it sort of before and after every episode just to keep it topped up. So what I am going to do instead, once we've got the money, this pasture here, it's a smaller version of what we've already got, but what it does have, it has the water troughs there built in, so all we would need to worry about is food. So I think what the plan is, we'll probably just sell all the sheep. We'll get rid of them all. We'll clear all this wool. There's loads of wool, and then we'll get that nice pasture down with the barn, and yeah, we'll just make it look a bit more tidy, a little bit better, but it's just going to be so much more easy to operate. So it's a nice little upgrade, I think. Obviously each one was £51,000, but then you've got the cost of changing the pasture as well, so we're going to need a little bit more money, so we will have to work towards that. But that is the plan. I would like to upgrade the pastures to proper barn pastures, and that will just make things a little bit less easy, because what we're trying to do is be efficient as possible, save a little bit of time here and there, and then that leaves us with all the fun jobs. So that is lovely. That's what we're going to do. So what I will do, I'll grab both the mowers here, we'll hook up to the front and rear, and we'll just fly over both the fields really quickly. Now I'm not going to get the AI to do it. I did get a worker to do it last time round, but they get stuck up by where the chickens are. Obviously we've got the trailer on one of them at the moment with the conveyors, and they'll just get stuck. It will be a bit of a nightmare, so it's just much easier for me to fly over both fields really quickly, because it really doesn't take too long at all, and just get that job done and out the way. And then yeah, a little bit later on we'll use our brand new baler, which will be lovely. So I am going to start up here. This is just the awkward bit. I think once this constructible is done and the building site part of it is out the way, I don't think the AI would struggle as much, but at the moment it is just a little bit of a pain. So yeah, as I said, I'll get both of these done. We'll do it in a time lapse, nice and quick. We'll have the swaths going as well, so we'll get that lowered. The swather mode is on, so we'll turn that on. Yeah, they're going lovely, and same with the front. Okay, let's get this little job done. I'm not going to worry about the edges too much. Literally, I'm just going to fly over it, just get the majority of it done. So I'll see you at the end of the time lapse. There we go then, that will do. As I said, I'm not going to cut every single inch of grass, every single blade, because it's a rather repetitive job, but it is something we have to do every now and then, just for the animals of course, so that will do great. There we go. We'll get everything popped away, and then I think what we'll do, we'll probably start on this little section here. There's not too many there, so I think that'll be the best one to start with. Now, I'm a little bit unsure what to do about the sawmill. Obviously, we bought the sawmill, placed it for £150,000. It's a nice sawmill. It seems to process the wood fairly quickly, but the problem is it does only have a capacity of 50,000 litres. Now, I don't know if that's going to be a little bit of a problem or not. So I am tempted, probably not now because it is at nearly full capacity at the moment, but I would be tempted in the future to potentially purchase the bigger one for 300,000. I know probably sounds like a little bit of a waste of money, but at the end of the day, we didn't know that when we placed it, so I guess you don't know until you try. So yeah, we may upgrade. We might not, but it is definitely a possibility. So I'm not going to mess around bringing the telehandler over here and trying to drag the trees into the spawn point and all that rubbish, because it's just going to take too long. The sawmill is right here, so I will just pick them up by hand. But I've got a feeling if we check the capacity here, yeah, that is rather full. So what we'll do, we'll start at this end. We'll take a few trees down. We'll we'll throw them on the ground or whatever, just so we can see exactly what we've got going on here. And we're only going to target the nice big trees. All these silly little rubbish ones will just be getting deleted with the lumberjack mod. So the problem is, like this tree here for example, lovely big tree, but that's probably going to take up like 20,000 litres of space. And obviously when you've got a few trees to cut, you need a little bit more space. So yeah, I mean, obviously we haven't had it long. I guess the possibility is, do we get a refund, £150,000 refund, and then save up the extra to buy the one for 300,000? I'm not too sure, but it's definitely something to consider. So we'll delete the tree stumps. I have had the stump grinder on hire before on previous episodes, but the problem with it is it doesn't like the big stumps, and you just end up messing about for so long, and it's a bit of a boring watch. I mean, I don't really find sort of logging and tree cutting too enjoyable anyway. So if you've then got to mess about with a stump grinder for however long trying to get a silly little stump out of the ground, I personally think it's just a little bit better with the lumberjack mod. Like, I do try and sort of keep things fairly realistic, but obviously there has to be a point between keeping it realistic and it being boring, and obviously we don't want that. So if I can get it to come up red on these trees, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. And then sometimes you just come back to them and it'll come up red straight away. But yeah, these are the ones we're going to be targeting. So what we'll do after this, we'll see what sort of space we've got, and then we'll see if we've got anything to sell. We may well progress into the next month at some point, because we don't really need to stay in this month for too long. And then potentially when we progress, we'll have, whoops, that was coming our way, that was. Yeah, when we progress, we'll have a little bit to sell. And then we may or may not be able to get that bigger sawmill in this episode. We'll have to see how we're getting on for money. But the one thing I do know, next month we will have the wool to sell. And then the question is, do we sell the wool as it is, as a raw product, or do we lease a production? I have, well, we're not going to lease the rope one, we know that, but I have sort of vaguely, or a little bit, I've looked into the fabric one, so that is a potential. Don't actually know what the profits are for or anything like that, but I feel like it's something new to try out, so it's definitely a possibility. So yeah, I think we've already got sort of most of the big trees. There's only 2 or 3 more left here, so that's not too bad at all. So I will just turn on super strength and just drag these out the way once these are all cut, and then we can just see exactly what we've got. But I feel like we'll be able to get a good amount of trees in here, I really do. And we'll probably drag the subsoiler over, get rid of all the weeds and bushes, put some grass down, not to cut, just as decorative grass, and then we'll put the trees on top of that, so it'll just be a bit of a nice forest there, one that we can use. So yeah, I think that is the plan. So I will just cut down these remaining couple. I might just be this one tree here. I'll cut down the remaining tree, I'll drag them out the way, and then we'll see exactly what we've got. Here we go then, last tree coming right up. I have moved the other ones out the way, which I will just show you in a second. We'll just get rid of this tree stump here. Lovely. Okay, we'll drag this out the way. So for now, I've thrown the trees on the oat field here. We've got a big load of trees here that I've just cut down, and they're all from this section here. So this is all clear now. This, well, it's not ready yet, but it will be ready eventually for us to put a load of trees in. And I feel like we can get a few rows of trees in there. So I know it doesn't look like the biggest bit, but with that bit and that bit there and further on in the distance, we'll be able to get a lot of trees down. So yeah, this is still going, still at 45,000, and we're not too far away from a load of wood beams there, which is lovely. Okay, so I think what we will do for now, we'll just grab this trailer as we're over here, and we'll take that over to the cement factory right quick. Don't think it's full. I reckon there's probably a little bit more space in there yet, but even so, 37,000 litres, that will do lovely. So I'll just drop this off right quick. We'll make sure that the buffalo will make it through the night, and if they can, we will get into the next month. Right, okay, so I can see we've got some roof plates spawned, which is fantastic, as we do need those. So there we go, we'll get these unloaded. Lovely, that's great. So I will just hop into the telehandler right quick. We'll just grab those roof plates so they can use them overnight while we are resting. There we go, lovely, lovely roof tiles. And I must remember, I always forget, we have got some silage bales sitting down here as well. I really must make use of them at some point. But yeah, we know they're there. But I do, well, I just always forget. I always grab the ones from the barn. But I guess it doesn't matter. And I've also just realised before we progress, one more quick job. We need to deliver some buffalo milk and some goat's milk to the large dairy. I said this a lot in the last episode. Yeah, we're nearly ready to progress. We're nearly ready. Just one more job, but that really is it. We'll deliver the milk and then we will go into the next day. So after they've worked their way through this lot of roof tiles, they should only need one more, and then that should be the roof done. Then I'm guessing they are probably going to ask for some wood. So yeah, that's not too bad. We are getting there. Okay, right, let's jump into, where's the voucher? Yeah, there it is. Okay, please start the engine. I must remember this. So we'll grab the buffalo milk first. We'll just pop it in this blue one here. Hopefully we've got a lot. There should be a decent amount. And I don't actually think we're too far away from having some mozzarella spawn at the small dairy as well, which would be great. We've just got to drop off a little bit of water, so we'll put it in this one. Lovely. So yeah, I'm hoping we've got a decent amount. I haven't checked for a while, but I'd like to think there's going to be 3,000 or 4,000 litres at least. Well, I mean, we need to get that shed finished because we've got equipment sitting outside that I would like to put away. It's making the yard look rather messy. Right, let's see how much we got. Ooh, nearly 5,400 litres. That is lovely. That's really nice. Okay, we'll get this delivered. We'll load up one of the trailers and just deliver the goat's milk right quick as well. Okay then, so we've dropped off the buffalo milk and here is the goat's milk, so this is going to keep this going for a little bit of time, which will be lovely. There we go. So let's head back to the farm. We'll get into the next month and then we've got a decision to make. What are we going to do with the wool? Also, how much wood would the sawmill have produced? Because yeah, I think with what we've got sitting there, we definitely need to upgrade that, and hopefully the sawmill with the one that costs 300,000, hopefully the capacity is a lot bigger, but I'm fairly confident it will be. I'm sure it will be. So anyway, let's pop this here and let's have an early finish, go and see Walter and move on into the next month. And there we go, the sheep pasture is full, the spawn point is full. Just got the message there. So what have we got? Nice class tractor, 32 hours though. It's too much for a used tractor. I would actually like to get a class tractor at some point, but not with those hours. So yeah, nothing there for us, not really. How are we getting on here? Now we know the wool is the best time, and we've got £75,000 worth. The question is, do we sell it as it is? We've got 5,000 litres of wood beams somewhere. That will be nice because we need to sell that. So yeah, the wood beams will definitely be going. I'm surprised we've got 5,000 litres. I guess that's all from the large sawmill. But yeah, that is the best time for everything really. So it's literally just the wool. So what we need to do, I guess, I suppose this may be the easy way to do it. If we go into factories here, we'll be able to see, what are we looking for? We are looking for the spinnery. Yes, the spinnery. So we need, is there anything else? So the tailor shop take the fabric, but we need to make the fabric first? Rope maker, definitely not. Yeah, so yeah, spinnery. Okay, let's find that on the map. I don't really know where it is, but I've got a feeling it's potentially up this corner somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Paper factory, no. Right, okay, so I did find it in the end. I suppose it would be a good idea if I showed you. It's up here, the flashing icon. I have tagged it already. That is the spinnery. So what I'll do, I'll hook up to the low loader, and we will get it loaded up, funnily enough. We'll get it loaded up with the wool, but we're also going to see if we can try and cram on some wood beams, and we'll do one big run. We'll get the playground in there and the spinnery in one run. We have got some bricks and whatnot on here already, so do I take them as well? No, I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to focus on the wool and the wood for now. So I'll just drop these off here by the barn, and yeah, we'll get the trailer loaded, and then we'll go and drop off the goods. Right, okay, last little one going on here. So I found 4,000 litres of wood beams. Couldn't find the fifth one. I think it's probably because we had partial ones in some sawmills, and it's adding it up together. But we've got a very, very nice amount of wool there. So I've got no idea if this is going to pay off or not. But what we do know is we've got £75,000 worth of wool. So what we need to think of when we rent the place is at the end of it, when we've got our fabric, are we going to have, well, hopefully £75,000 or more worth of fabric? Then we'll know if it is worth it or not. Or do we then go a step further and turn that fabric into clothes? Who knows? But we'll head off to the playground first. We'll drop the wood beams off. Then we'll go on to the spinnery. We'll lease that, and we'll start that production on its way. So the large sawmill overnight only processed 9,000 litres of wood. So I do actually think that is a little bit slow for a large sawmill. So yeah, what we'll do, we'll let that run out. We'll let it use the other 41,000 litres. It's not going to be in this episode because it's going to take a little while to run out, probably a couple of days. But once it does, that will be going. We'll get ourselves a little refund there, and we'll purchase the one for £300,000 instead. We have arrived. First time renting the spinnery. I think we have actually been here before. We might have dropped something off here for a contract, perhaps. Definitely remember being here because I remember having a run around. I think we might have found a collectible here as well, quite possibly. But let's get this place leased. Let's see how much it's going to cost. 493. That seems like a very good deal. So fabric cotton or fabric wool. Well, of course we've got wool, so we'll keep that as storing, but we do need to activate it. Lovely. So I'm not sure how many days we're going to have to lease this to get through the wool we've got here. Probably 2 or 3 days if I had to guess. But there we go. That's all in. A very, very nice delivery. So let's just make sure. Yeah, that is running perfect. Okay, so hopefully by the end of it, we'll see a nice little bit of fabric. Why don't we actually have a look, see how much the fabric is worth, because I haven't got a clue. Done this without doing any research whatsoever. Wow, so that's worth £18,000, really. And interestingly enough, the playground wants it. So Oh no, hang on, hold on, I'm looking in the wrong menu. Here we go, let's find in here. That may well be correct, but that seemed like a lot to me. 18,000. So the best price, funnily enough, is now, and it's actually 15,900. But either way, it's still very good. But yes, oh, the playground is paying 18,000. Okay, that's amazing. That sounds really, really good. Interesting that the playground wants it, but that's another thing for us. So yeah, that's good. That means hopefully we'll be able to produce enough to sell to the playground. That would be fantastic if that was the case. So let's just see, in literally a couple of minutes it's produced 6 litres. Okay, well that shouldn't be too bad. So we did make, I think it was 60,000 from selling the... No, it wasn't 60,000, it was about 40 or 50,000 from selling the wood beams to the playground. So we're at 107,000 now, which is good. So I'll get back to the farm, and then we'll test out that class baler, I think, the brand new baler. Let's give it a try. So I actually decided in the end, I left the Valtra and the low loader over by the spinnery because I didn't really want to drive all the way back, and hopefully it will process it quick enough that we can just leave it there and collect our goods when they are ready. So let's get hooked up to this. We are going to be baling one of the fields straight away. I think we're going to do this one. We're going to turn this into grass, and then eventually next episode, or the one after maybe, we're going to wrap it. We'll have to lease a wrapper so we can get this turned into silage. But the other one, I am going to have to tether that up because we do need some more hay. So let's get this on the bigger size, 240, lovely. Get it turned on. So yeah, this is our brand new class baler. We probably rented this before, I would say, but this is our very own one. We own it, and it needs to earn some money back. So we'll do this field. I'll tether the other one right quick, and then we'll get some hay bales as well. Okay, so it was good to use the baler for the first time, and we'll use it again on this field as well, but we won't do that now. I'll windrow this up next episode, and then we will get it baled up just for a little bit of hay. Obviously it's not a massive field and we've missed bits all over the place, but yeah, just a little boost to the stock that we've got in the barn. Obviously not ideal that the grass has grown back a bit, but there we go, that can't be helped. So yeah, not too bad. So we've got lots to do, and we are progressing towards lots of stuff. Obviously we really need that sawmill to empty so we can purchase the bigger one and start working our way through some of this wood. So yeah, that will all come together, and we'll probably get that sheep upgrade down next episode as well, because I feel like we can spend a little bit of the money, as the sawmill wouldn't have processed the wood that quick. So by the time comes and we need to upgrade the sawmill, we would have earned a load more money anyway. So yeah, I think they'll be getting their little upgrade next episode, and then we'll just carry on doing everything we've been doing. Obviously the constructible shed isn't too far away now. If we drive a little bit closer to it, we can actually see, although they do need 1,000 litres of roof plates still, the roof is finished, so I'm not sure why they need another 1,000 litres, but there we go, they do. But that's good, it is really coming together now. It can't be too far away, fingers crossed. And our Buffalo over there in the distance, they're going to need transferring very, very soon. So speaking of those, let's just have a quick little look. Did they run out of food overnight? Oh, they've just got a little bit left, so we'll sort that out next time around as well. They also need some straw. They've needed that for a while, but they look rather happy and healthy, that is for sure. So yeah, that will be it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.